Thank you, Moses. Good afternoon. I count it a privilege and an honor that I'm speaking to a distinguished gathering this afternoon. People who are potential SMEs are pretty close to my heart, and they are central to what DHL does. First, let me start with DHL's purpose. Our purpose in DHL is connecting people, improving lives. So what has that got to do with us? Connecting people, improving lives. We connect businesses to businesses. We connect businesses to customers. We connect customers to customers. We facilitate trade. There are very few trade flows that happen globally where DHL does not play a role. And SMEs are pretty close to us. I love SMEs because they are the single greatest growth lever in most of the economies. SMEs contribute 60% of GDP in the USA. They contribute 75% of the GDP in China. And SMEs provide about over 90% of all jobs in Kenya. So when I speak to SMEs, I salute them. You are the single greatest lever for growth. SMEs are in DHL's DNA. Why do I say so? DHL was started by 3 entrepreneurs. Their names are Adrian Dulcie, Larry Hilblom, and Robert Lin. So the D, the H, and the L that you know us for stands for Dulcie, Hilblom, and Lin. These are the first letters of their surnames. The second reason why SMEs are in our DNA as DHL is we have a strategic pillar for SMEs. The strategic focus for SMEs is titled Go Trade. Why Go Trade? We would want to facilitate SMEs to trade beyond their borders. We want to facilitate SMEs to export. The logical question will be, how does DHL facilitate trade? Well, for starters, DHL Express is in 220 countries. That's quite a serious global footprint. We have a fleet of 270 freighter planes. These are our own. They sit on our balance sheets. We also have contractual agreements with most of the international airlines. This gives us a global footprint in the entire world. The other bit that distinguishes us from most competitors is we actually have a customs clearance expertise in-house. In all these 220 countries where we operate, we have teams on the ground and they interface with the customs authorities. To land that point home, in our gateway in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, we actually have over 20 Kenya Revenue Authority officers who from January 1 to December 31st, they work with us. That enables us to bring in shipments, clear them with speed, and deliver. So now if you take 220 countries, we have boots on the ground and we have trained, motivated staff in all these areas. That infrastructure of planes, the infrastructure of being in 220 countries is complemented by us now delivering a service that we call International Door-to-Door Express. What that means is we can take a product from your hands, from your office, from your home, from your rural workplace, wherever you may be in Kenya. We can take your product and we can take it to any of the global buyers. So you no longer need to travel to the city. You can stay right where you are doing your enterprise. We will take your product from you and we'll deliver it to an international buyer, and on average within 3 to 4 working days. The other bit that helps us facilitate trade is we have simplified tools and placed them within your reach. So there are various DHL portals like My DHL Plus. You can access My DHL Plus on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer. You go in there, you can book a shipment, and you can book a shipment, and you can send a shipment. We also have other mobile apps where, for example, you're an SME and you don't know an HS code. All you know is I've made leather sandals and you want to export them. And you have no idea which HS code to use. If you go onto our portal and you describe your product properly, the HS code will pop up for you and it will give you simplified tips on how to do your packing list, your invoice, how to describe your goods. So, relevance to SMEs, one might ask, how is all this that I have described relevant to SMEs? The traditional route to market is about having agents, distributors, and partners. We would want to take Kenyan SMEs to a global market. So traditionally, SMEs would have to find their partners, their distributors, or their dealers. Or that limits them to a few areas where they have set this up. When you partner with international door-to-door service deliveries like DHL, your buyers can literally be anywhere in the globe. If you work with us, we're able to pick your goods, we'll process your goods for export, take them to destination, do the inbound customs processing, and deliver straight to your customer's door or to their hands. So we actually help SMEs do away with the traditional routes to market, and we come in with the power of technology, and that helps open up the global markets to SMEs. So in a nutshell, we connect the unconnected to the global markets. So the goods now move from your hands to your buyer in a very short time. This gives our SMEs limitless opportunities. We also take the complexity out of exports. Jen did mention that export is complex. It's a very dynamic and ever-changing environment. Almost every day, countries are changing their requirements for goods to be imported into that country. It becomes difficult for SMEs to keep abreast with all these changes. Our systems in DHL will capture the changes the moment they are made. If you're working with DHL, if you're sending something to Argentina, the moment you type Argentina on your address in our airway bill, our system will tell you, based on your goods description, it will tell you all you need for your shipment to enter that country. If you're sending to Germany, you're sending to the United Kingdom, to the US, the moment you describe your country, put in your address, we're able to give you the requirements for you to export into that country. So we actually take the complexity out of exports. The other thing that most SMEs do not realize is something called goods description. If one was sending a dress, say, to the United Kingdom, it is inadequate just to say, I'm sending a dress. That shipment will not go through. Nowadays, you now need to describe, this dress is made out of this material. It is 50% cotton, and it is this percentage polyester, and it is for a male, it is for a female, and all you have done into it. So the little things that we take for granted may actually become barriers when we talk of export. So in our way of supporting SMEs, we take all that complexity from them, and our technology guides them, and that technology is available in the palm of your hands through your phone, and is there on the DHL portals. So the question in your mind should be, who has DHL assisted? Which kind of SMEs? We have been working with SMEs in trade facilitation for over 20 years. Right here in Kenya, to bring it home, we're working with SMEs in the tea and coffee sector, value added. The reason why we encourage SMEs to export is, if you look, for example, in Kenya, in the tea auction, the best grades, the real tea, they sell for, on average, about $3 US. If you value add and you are exporting, depending on your positioning, and depending on your marketing, you can actually sell your goods at maybe 10 times that price. We're working with people in the leather sector. We're working with people, for example, who take Maasai sandals, they beautify them with beads, and they're able to sell them at a lucrative price. They can afford DHLs taking their goods from Kenya into China, into the US, into the EU, land their goods there, and still be profitable. We are working with people in the leather sector. We're working with people who are doing baskets, dried spices, dried fruits. We're working with SMEs who are doing fashion and African attire. We're even working with dried sardines, what we call omena here. If you go to DHL Connected series on YouTube, you'll be able to see videos and testimonials of SMEs who are working and growing their. Many a times when I interact with SMEs, they'll tell me, but Paul, I would want to export. I don't even have a single international buyer, and I don't know where to start. If you are in that situation, I would invite you to attend our market linkage facilitation training. What does that do? As DHL, we move shipments globally. We move over millions of shipments every day. So we understand trade flows and trade patterns. Our teams will be able to work with you. All you need is just bring a smartphone. If you bring a smartphone and a willing mind, and you can work with Google, we will facilitate that by the time you leave our market linkage training, you will have identified a couple of buyers. When I run this training, I challenge most of my delegates. If you don't find less than 20 buyers, please don't come for the DHL sponsored lunch, because then you haven't applied your minds and we haven't helped you. So we do facilitate SMEs to connect with international buyers. We do move your shipments from Kenya to globally, and we're a multi-modal company. DHL operates DHL Express, which is the business I lead. We move the shipments by air. DHL Global Forwarding will move shipments by road, by rail, by sea freight. DHL Supply Chain will help in warehousing. We also do move even fresh goods that need to be in a cold warehouse before they are loaded on a plane and they are taken to their various destinations. So we do have rates that are favorable. We support SMEs, and we have special rates for SMEs, particularly those that are in the e-commerce sector. So let me sum up how we facilitate and assist SMEs. DHL is a one-stop shop, your gateway to global markets. We help you with business to business. We help you with business to customer connections. We help you with your road, rail, and sea freight, and we help you with warehousing. So we are multimodal, and that will help you. Our capacities as DHL, we handle your logistics. We have the customs expertise. We do the time-definite deliveries, which means we can pick your shipment from Kenya and deliver to your buyers within a stipulated time. If you use DHL and you go onto DHL Express on progression of your shipment, there are many who offer track and trace. Ours is real-time tracking capability. You'll see that we've picked your shipment is at the airport, your shipment is airborne. By the following day, you see your shipment is in a different continent, and you see that your shipment is being delivered. So that tracking visibility gives you peace of mind. It gives your buyers confidence. One thing to add here that helps our SMEs, most SMEs brands are not well known. If you're doing international business and you tell your buyers, I ship by DHL, our brand is known, our brand is trusted. So you can leverage from a bigger brand, and that helps you get a foothold into the market. So what's our call to action? Many a times You may be wondering, should I really go the SME way? Moses was right in his introduction. Being an SME is tough, very challenging, but we are your partner. We take away your logistics headache. We take away all the export terminologies, documentation, and requirements that you may not understand. And more importantly, we take away the reliance of the traditional route to market. We use technology and our network. With DHL, you have one partner that can take you any part of the globe. So we link your brands to global markets. We partner with you for growth, and we encourage you to start local and go global. Move from a seed into a big tree. Many trees make a forest. So the big brands you know started off somewhere, and they started off small. Last year, I had an opportunity of a business tour in Atlanta, Georgia, in the US. And I dedicated 2 hours, and I visited the Coca-Cola Museum. One thing that stayed with me in that Coca-Cola Museum was the fact that when Coca-Cola was launched in its first year, they only sold 9 crates. Not 90, not 9,000, not 900, 9 crates. But it grew from a small seed to a global brand. You too can grow. In conclusion, I would want them to beam one thing. There is a slide I have called the DHL call for action. If you could beam that for me, please. On this slide, the last slide, yes, you see there is a QR code. That QR code is important. Many times when we talk to people, they say, I don't know where to start and I don't know who to call. Can you give me your number or your email? In DHL, you don't need my number. You don't need my email. You need that QR code. If you scan that via your phone and you register on there, our team members will reach out to you. At whatever stage you are, we can work with you, we can support you, we can facilitate you to grow from a small seed into a big brand. Thank you.